Give me a moment. I would like to address the comments by Volker Turk, who is the High Commissioner for Human Rights at the UN since October 17th of last year, 2022. Oh, the year before last, actually. After the Belgorod attack, which I want to point out was in direct response to the multi-launch rocket systems of the Russian Federation, some of which are located within the city limits of Belgorod, after they had fired 10 rockets at the city of Kharkiv, killing several civilians. And the Ukrainians responded by hunting those missile launchers. And then we've got the video, and here I can show you some evidence too in just a second, that many of the casualties in Belgorod were caused by Russia's own air defense. This naive moron from Austria, a country whose tourist industry survives on two lies. The lie that Mozart was Viennese and Hitler was a German. The same people that gave us Adolf Hitler have the nerve, after 2 years of uncontrolled shelling of Ukrainian civilian targets, to put the attack against the legitimate military targets in Belgorod on the part of the AFU, to put them in the same category, should disgust and offend everybody. And it should go to the point of why the Human Rights High Commissioner and the Human Rights Commission of the UN is so goddamn ineffective. Because they are naive in the face of evil. Just look at what this son of a bitch writes. Alarming escalation of hostilities. I beg your pardon? Escalation? Have you not been paying attention at all? You've got Ukrainian towns demolished. Not a house, not a tree left standing. All along the front line. But this is an escalation? Dozens of civilians killed in Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, dozens of civilians are killed in Ukraine every day. But now that a couple of Russians are killed, likely by their own people, it's a problem? Whose side are you on, Volker Turk? Exactly. International humanitarian law prohibits indiscriminate attacks and attacks against civilian objects. Are you kidding me? Where have you been the last 2 years? Now, as far as the evidence goes, that the casualties inside Belgorod are very likely the result of Russia's incompetent and failing air defense, I give you this. This is down here. This is a Russian Pantsir missile. And so this is a Russian anti-aircraft short-range rocket. And this is what it looks like, brand new all together, the booster down there, right, all the assembly bits. And what you see here is that part found in the streets of Belgorod after the attack. This is what came down on Belgorod. Not Ukrainian missiles. Ukrainian missiles may have come down because they were taken out by anti-aircraft or air defense weapons over the city, which is not how you're supposed to do that. And they wouldn't have been there if you didn't park your goddamn missile launchers inside the city limits or behind the residential complexes so that any fire at them has to cross civilians. You're using your civilians as shields, you sons of bitches. And if that's not enough for you, here you can see that casing very clearly, the same geometric pattern on the casing in somebody's bedroom in Belgorod. That's not, I mean, it is an accident, right? But it goes to the point that the missiles that fell on Belgorod, what killed those Russians, were Russian missiles shot by an incompetent air defense that is outmaneuvered and outgunned by the superior Ukrainian forces. It's just that simple. And for this guy, who's supposed to be interested in human rights, there's only one side in this conflict that gives a shit about human rights, and that's the Ukrainians. The Russians have committed every war crime possible, everything you can imagine, and it's all documented. The Ukrainians have over 100,000 individual war crimes documented. Don't tell me there's two sides to this story. There simply aren't. Guys, if you like what I do, like, subscribe, and share. Everybody that joins the Patreon at $30 a month or higher gets a video sponsorship. And so I want to thank Chris Carter for sponsoring this video. Thank you.